grenades.
It still would, even if even if I would 100% go to every Dragon Con for 35 years, it still wouldn't be worth it for 3,000.
There's so much you could do with $3,000 up front.
I know.
Backyard.
You could build your pool. All right, for serious now, let's do a show.
Okay.
Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, the show that brings to you the latest and greatest and odd and crazy news from all over the planet, as well as other things that we like to talk about. It has been 2 weeks since we've been here. Between then and now, there's been a hurricane, some tree limbs, pepperoni pizza day, various other celebrations, man. I'm your host, Steven, joined as always by the amazing Ashley, and we're here to talk to you today about some good stuff. You'd think we'd have a lot of stories considering it's been a while since we've done this, but I don't know if that's the case. But we should know.
We have stories.
Are there any stories? Did someone out there send us information? No, we're good. We got lots of stories. But first, smash. Oh yeah, we do have a story. We have multiple stories we can tell. One of those stories involves toad penis.
What is that about? You and Jacob keep talking about toad penis, and I feel like, Lord.
I don't want to it feels wrong to just kick off the show with the words toad penis and then move on from there.
You've done it though.
I did do it. Well, so my gripe, there's a story, if you're unfamiliar, if you're hiding under a rock or otherwise not reading CNN, which is probably good for you at this point. They're all crazy town. It's insane. But there's Stormy Daniels. You're familiar with this porn star that you might not have been familiar with prior to our current president. Released a book in which she compares the president's business down there to the mushroom character from Mario Kart.
Oh! When you guys said toad penis last night, I thought you meant like the frog.
Oh, no.
I know a toad and a frog is different, but like the amphibious frog toad.
No, we meant like toadstool from Mario Kart.
Oh, because then you went on to talk about the real story. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I was going to go tonight in this opening. McFly just needs me to tell it. And that's that the real story here isn't what the president's wiener looks like. The real story is that Stormy Daniels plays Mario Kart. So you could very well have been playing against a porn star if you're playing online. Is porn star the right word? Is that derogatory? Are you supposed to say adult film star?
I don't think it's derogatory yet. I don't know. I'm not a porn star, so I can't have a feeling about it either way. But I've not heard wind of it being derogatory.
I feel like it to me it sounds derogatory.
I don't want to Google it.
Adult film star sounds slightly pretentious though. That's true.
It does, and that from a 17-year-old. So
yeah, right? Why is Sub like our wisdom? We're like, look to him. He's maxed out.
He's the adult in the room.
He's got a +3 wisdom modifier. Subject to change. By the way, hey, speaking of D&D, you guys should tune in for Dungeons and Dorks on Mondays. Faux serious. Because it's a good time.
Jacob and I were like crying because Jacob couldn't get a roll above a 3 last game. And I kept, hitting them, but I would miss them.
Yeah. Well, you would, no, you wouldn't hit them. You tried to hit them.
I would just not beat their armor class.
Yeah, so you didn't hit.
Even with the fact that I was behind them and had advantage.
Yes, you had plenty of combat advantage.
It was bad.
Oh, look at this. A load of BS in the chat says one of his friends is an adult film actress, and that's what they prefer. Adult film star.
Okay.
Well, see, now we know.
Film actor, adult film actress.
Yeah.
I know who's going to be a creator crush next.
Here we are today with Mick Big Johnson. He's going to be joining us for We're going to talk about creating stuff. Creating stuff. So fun. Dude, I don't want to like have there's so many things I don't want to do that I do anyway, and that's one of those things is cross promote Johnny Longhammer. Johnny Longhammer. And that's the Creator Crush, man. That is a new show me and Ash have been doing, and it is fun. It is fun, and it is worth a listen. So, hey, man, if you're out there, go to Creator Crush on your iTunes or your Google Podcast. Download that thing.
That's googly boogly.
It's a great time.
Granted, I feel like Google's been slow, so depending on when you listen to this, you may Google us slowly. Oh my God, Steven.
Google Me
okay.
Slowly is one of my favorite romantic ballads.
Can that be a thing? Google me. Somebody do something with Google. Eric Webb, where are you?
Google me slowly.
Arrow.
He's Googling me slowly with his song.
Oh my God, we need to talk to Horace Holloway and have him write that.
Have him write a cover. Google me slowly.
So I'm in the DAR because my mom's in the DAR.
So what's a DAR, first of all?
The National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Yes. Okay.
I've talked about it on the show before. It's a service-based organization, but the vast majority of women are over the age of
accountability.
I would say 45, but they're over the age of 60. Like for real. Like most of them are over the age of 60. There's the smaller percentage in the range of like, upper 40s. And then there's me. So
the 12-year-old in the room.
And then, I'm there with my mommy because I'm not allowed to go by myself. So we inducted some new members, and one of them I had heard wind of before she was inducted. Because we don't want to induct people blindly just to pad numbers, right? Like we want quality people that are going to serve their community. Right?
Yeah. You want people that are going to be part of it. It's a
service industry, so, and you don't want to cause strife, and there's different anyway. Well, yada. So, I had heard some stuff about her before, and I went up afterwards to okay, well, so first of all, the new members, they were potential members at that time because we hadn't voted yet, but they stood up and they gave a little introduction, and by way of induction in the DAR, you have to prove that you had a patriot that fought in the Revolutionary War, and you have to be able to legally document that you're an ancestor.
Does it matter which side they fought for?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to clear it up.
They can't be British. They have to be fighting. Well, I guess they were all British at the time, but they had to be fighting for independence.
Yeah, I just wanted to clear it up in case anybody, who's British is like, oh, by Jove, I'd like to be a part of that organization.
Oh my God, now I'm curious if there is like a DAR, but because it initially started as the Sons of the American Revolution, right? But
yeah.
They voted to not allow women into their organization, and so this was ages ago when people still wore corsets. And so the women were like, "Pacham," and then now the DAR is much more well known than the SAR.
You
so anyway,
women always flipping off the men folk.
So everybody stands up and introduces themselves, tells us where their patriot is, where their family's from, because it's a genealogical preservation too. That's like a huge part of the DAR, and so that's really important to people, because they're genealogical nerds and they like it. So everybody talks from anywhere from like 12 to 45 seconds. Just keeps it sweet, short, concise. You can tell people that are a little shy and put on the spot. They're like, "Oh God, I wasn't expecting it." And then this woman stands up and talks for 8 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
But she speaks very well. She's very well spoken. She handles herself very well. She doesn't wave her hands around like I'm doing now. And she looks great. Her makeup's meticulous. Her hair is meticulous. I love when Steven does this.
This is fun.
like extra fun.
This is what I do when I'm giving a public speech. So
my name's Steve.
The audio listeners love when we do this stuff.
he's
waving my hands like they're covered in Novocaine.
All the bones have left the premises. Get it? But yeah, she ends up speaking for 8 minutes, and I'm like, oh my God. So you can tell subject made the word pretentious earlier. He said the word, typed it. And I'm just like, Yes, pretentious, just absolutely in love with herself. And so I'm like, I'm not gonna be douche. I'm not gonna be douche. I'm not gonna be douche. I'm laughing because I'm always a douche. I walked up to her after the meeting, introduced myself. We're chit chatting. I was like, you're very well spoken. It's quite impressive.
Oh gosh.
And I started asking her some questions, and she's like, well, my name's blah 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 blah. She's like, just Google me. So instead of having an effing conversation with somebody in a membership organization that she just joined, she told me to Google her. And then followed it up with, it's really quite embarrassing how much information there is about me. And I'm like, there's so much wrong. Like, if it's embarrassing, why bring it up?
Did you Google her?
No, I don't even remember her effing name.
Because she didn't. Yeah. I would have been like, I'll write it down. I was like, I'm gonna Google the crap out of you.
Well, so to be fair, in doing due diligence, we had Googled her before. Because in her application, she sent that Google search bar link.
Who sends a Google search bar link? I mean, at least shorten it with like bit.ly or something. Bit.ly, Google my name.
But I thought it was so interesting that we've gotten to the point where I'm so tired of lauding my awesomeness when in fact I'm not, that I will just tell you to Google me.
I would never do that.
That's so 80s, it hurts. Like, if Google was in the 80s, the douches with like cocaine hanging out their nostrils would have told people to Google them while handing them the linen business card.
I feel like you're removing the human interaction like that's where small talk comes from, is tell me a little bit about yourself. Right? That's how you
Especially if you've done something interesting, right?
Yeah, that's how, I mean, that's how you get to know somebody. You ask questions, where are you from? Where's your family from? Blah, blah, blah. But when someone says, Google me, you basically eliminated that. You're telling that person, I don't really want to talk to you. Just if you want to know about me, look me up. But I don't really care about you because I'm not going to ask you any questions. Because that's the thing about conversation. It's a give and take. Like, I ask you a question, you ask me a question, or people do it different ways. And sometimes I have a theory. I talked to Stephanie about this once. When I converse with someone. What?
You have like a theory music?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's something like, no,
X-Files?
I don't have any.
Hell, hum the X-Files scene.
Oh, I used to have X-Files. I don't have any. Do, 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 do. I don't know how it goes. My theory is that like there are people that converse in certain ways and get to know each other in certain ways. Like when I talk to somebody, Ashley, you ask me or we're talking about something and you tell a story. I will find a way to relate your story to myself and tell you a story about me. And then if you're that way, then you would then find something in that thing I just said and then tell the story related to it. And then we're having a conversation.
Right.
Some people don't do that, and if I meet somebody that asks lots of questions and they never like give anything back, they feel like I've just dominated the conversation. Right. But I was really expecting them to like fire back, because I'm bad at asking questions.
Or a lot of people, we've got a friend, Anthony. He is nervous in social situations a lot of times, and so he will ask a ton of questions about the person he's talking to and not really reciprocate, not because you're dominating conversation or not because he's not interested. He's just, that's how he relates to people. He would rather you fill him in on stuff than him having to fill somebody else in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not always like that, obviously.
Yeah.
You never get to know somebody, but just like upon first meeting somebody, that's how he is. He's very, tell me about yourself. You tell me, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, if you meet somebody and you're like on two completely different conversational pattern wavelengths, neither of you have any fun.
It's rough.
And then you just decide, I don't think we can be friends.
Yeah.
And you have to like walk away from it and be like, I don't even know. Like, it's that feeling you get when you walk away. You're like, it's not that they were mean or bad or not a person. Like, I just don't want to talk to them.
Right. They're a potato.
Yeah. And it's like, you're like, they're probably fine. They're good. They're nice to people. I just don't want to talk to them. And that's okay. Like, I think we have to be okay. People like you and me, we feel the need to be friends with everybody to some degree.
Which is obnoxious.
Yeah. You're just much better at shutting it down right away. You're just like, F that person. I don't like them at all. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
somewhere
if
else.
I don't like you, I don't care if you like
No.
me.
Ashley has if she doesn't like you, you'll know. You'll know pretty quickly in real life. She's just like, yeah, I'm gone now. But I'm kind of, you know what, when I just don't like people who are this is a really fun conversation. This is how to be friends with Steven and Ashley. Just don't be. We're
Or
too much
just
trouble.
anybody, right? Like,
We're too much trouble. It's like oh shoot. Um like people who are always always having problems, but you know they're not real problems.
they're dramatically constructed issues because their
Yes.
soul is dying of unimportance.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't care. I'm gonna go somewhere else now. You have all my trust and love until I realize that this is just how it's going to be, and then I'm like,
Yeah. How it's
I
gonna
still love
be.
you, and I hope you get better, but I don't have time for this.
Yes. And also, leaving and I think that's the thing that I got, which just kind of went through me, was the, just Google me. I'm like,
Gosh,
would you like to physically shove me aside while you're walking past me? And so then she went up to the regent shortly after that, and I'm like, you don't even know my position in this organization, and you're like walking up to the most important person in the room, right? Like, you
yeah.
have no idea who I am or what I do, and you're just gonna shove past me to get to the regent, who I'm real good friends with.
You're just a
Mm.
plebe, Smashley.
Yeah, that's I'm just like, and we've completely written you off, so she's now the Googler.
So you've got a name
Don't
for
be
her
the
now.
Googler.
This is do not behave like Miss Google.
Okay, the end. Enough of Ashley bitching. But yeah, but just, I mean, and so one of the other things on this social episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, Jacob and I were chit chatting about the fact that us as a human race are so overwhelmingly uninteresting as people, right? 100 years ago, 200 years ago, women and men, they're jacks of all trades, right? I mean, they wrote beautifully. They could sew, they could knit, they could hunt, they could pluck stuff, they could speak different languages, they could dance beautifully, they could play instruments, they could sing. Like, there was
Yeah.
all this amazing stuff that just a fairly normal person could do. And now, when any sort of person gets any sort of, oh yeah, I can do this and this and this, then they become this puffed up person, and expect to be praised and to talk at you instead of having a conversation with you, because they've been relegated up out of the normalcy of bullcrap. And I'm just like, that's sad. People need to better themselves and not get so excited because they can speak well.
Yeah, you need to have a little bit more to give. You know, you be back in there and bring dance or something. You know, be like, I'm proud. Be proud of me for this.
I would like to dance. Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, it's great to be proud of yourself and accomplishing something, but it shouldn't be. That shouldn't, like, we should be better as people, so that kind of stuff doesn't set you leaps and bounds
Oh, I see what you're
above,
saying. So
right?
everybody, yeah, you want everybody to be good enough that you're on the same level, not just because you can speak well doesn't make you special, because so
Right,
many
like,
people can speak well.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like, congratulations, you speak well in public.
We don't
That
try
doesn't mean I
anymore,
should have
man.
to Google you.
We don't try anymore. Like school
Yeah.
caters to the lowest common denominator. If you are by the way, huge thanks for the Twitch Prime sub from Two Tap King. Thank you for popping in here
Thank
and
you, dude. You're
tossing
awesome.
us a couple bucks there and the 30 cheer. Thank you for that. That's awesome.
Yay.
But yeah, like you it's lowest common denominator. So if you're a smart kid, I remember this being an issue, like they had to invent a gifted program for smart children, which they don't call gifted anymore. They had to call it something else because that
Do
made
they
other
really not call it the gifted
hurt
program?
everybody's feelings or something. Hey, they call it something else. I don't know what it is, accelerated or whatever. But you get the gifted
Those
program.
that try.
Oh, sub says it's still gifted. Okay, good. So it's gifted, but it's really not that much more intense than it's like we went to a school that was a more there were greater standards in every class. The high school opposite us they were AP classes. So they're all like, "Yeah, I'm in AP English and AP whatever." And I'm looking at it, I'm like, "You you're not any smarter than me. We just have English, and it's
Right,
8 AP
yeah.
level. We don't have dumb kid English. Sorry, dumb kids. We don't have dumb kid English. We just have AP.
There's nothing wrong with dumb kid English.
No,
Like, you'll
I
get
sucked
there.
at math. Like, if I could be in dumb kid math, I needed to be in dumb kid math.
But yeah, because for my senior year, I was taking college classes, and through the school.
Yeah.
Like, that was my English class, was English 101 in college, and I'm just like, sweet. You guys are getting paid yearly, but you don't actually have to teach me.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice.
But where
You're
was
so
I?
distracted. What are you doing?
No, I'm not distracted. I was thinking, well, the fan behind me is driving me crazy in my window.
Yeah, like I can, like for the last few minutes, I could see like these little veins in your head going. Well, just get up and close the blinds.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't have pants on. I do have pants
I
on.
believe you.
I do have pants on. You shouldn't believe me. I guess I could sit up straight. Audio.
There you go.
No. But dumb kids. I don't know, man. I'm sorry that school's letting you down and everybody can't speak well anymore. Like you were talking about people being able to dance and stuff. It was making me think about. I'm tired. This is why my brain is misfiring. It made me think about Dick Van Dyke and stuff. Like back in the 50s, like they didn't really. Not everybody had TV, so you get together and play bridge. Or poker with your friends. And like if you had a bunch of funny friends, you'd all get together and like riff on things and joke, and somebody would play a piano. Yeah, like Mel Brooks and I'm like Alan Rickman. That's not the right name.
Oh, I miss him.
I know, I'm sorry. No, Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner get together and like sit together and make up what's a comedy album's worth of jokes at parties. So sit there and like just joke, kind of like me and Tater do, or Tater and Dwayne.
Oh my god!
It's the same thing, but it was like it was meant to be done. Like they would just sit down and start laughing. People be sitting on couches just cracking up at those guys.
Yeah. I think there was a podcast that you and Jacob listened to recently where they were talking about like the art of dinner parties.
The Dinner Party. Brunch is Hell was the name of the book. Yeah.
Oh, it's a book?
Yeah, save the world by throwing a dinner party.
Oh, but after okay. So have I talked to you guys about Lords and Ladles?
No.
Oh my god. So I'm kind of a history nerd. Like I really enjoy history up until like 1609, and then I stopped caring because I hate American history so much. I don't. That's bad, but I just do. So there's this show called Lords and Ladles, and it's like 6 episodes. It's on Netflix, but it's in Ireland for whatever reason, because other countries exist.
Sometimes you don't have to acknowledge them though. That's the important part.
I realized how I said that. I'm like, it's in Ireland for some reason. Ooh.
Yeah, there's good shows coming out of Ireland and Australia and stuff, man.
Oh, I just like the accents, man.
Yeah,
oh,
we should get some Aussies on the show one day.
Yay! I'm just gonna call my Aussie friend and be like, I know you don't really create anything, but would you like to come read a book to us?
You talk.
Yes. So anyway, they go to castles, and they're castles that are historically owned by the same families for centuries, right? And then they pick a handwritten menu from centuries ago. Like I think one of the earliest ones they did was right at the like end of the 1600s, beginning of the 1700s. I can't remember. But one of the people they talked about is, I think, an ancestor on Dad's side, which I got really excited about. So, yay, DAR. But they take that handwritten menu that's been saved for hundreds of years, have 3 Michelin chefs come in and recreate it in the house, and then serve it as a dinner party.
Oh, that's awesome. Can we do that?
And it was so cool. So it's got me like so interested because, like, my family, we like silver and we like china, and we like setting the 15 cups for the 15 different wines for your 15 different courses, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's so cool, like, because that's where you get together and chit chat and eat for hours and drink and have someone play the piano, and the kids are entertained by the dog that's somehow a nanny, and then Peter Pan comes along, and
oh yeah. That's the thing too, is speaking of the kitchen and making something cool, it was the dinner party practice is really not designed to be a potluck. Like one of the rules at throwing a dinner party was like, if you throw the dinner party, you cook the food. And it's a way, like, if you build up a network of families that do dinner parties, you go over there and to their
Right.
house, then you start to experience like minor cultural changes because like the way I cook chicken and dumplings might not be the way somebody else does. I might cook chicken and dumplings because that's like a family dish for me.
Right.
But we go over somewhere else and
Oh.
their family dish is lasagna and we eat their
Or cow
lasagna.
tongue.
Or yeah, and you kind of have to experience different things and you sit around and not only that, but you get to know your neighbors and you create a thing. And another rule was like always have it on like a midweek thing, like a Thursday or something.
Oh,
Don't do
cool.
it on
Don't
Fridays.
have it on Thursday.
Yeah, don't have it on Thursday. We got a show to do. But Friday is like a day most people have like they're done with their work week and they need to be off work and away from
Right.
hardship, But it's pretty awesome and we should do that. I mean, we kind of do it now.
Bring back the dinner party, man. If you have a dinner party experience, please contact us at horseshoesandhandgrenades.com. What's our website?
HNHshow@gmail.com is a good way to do it.
There we go.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with H&H in the background.
Oh my god. We should do viewer submitted recipes for Two Forks and come out with like a fun Jury told me to shut up when I had ideas and just
Yes,
talk
he
to Steve
did.
in private. Okay, I'm gonna listen to Jury.
That was the first thing he said that was quite adamant. He was like, from one creator to another, shut up. Just do the thing. They'll tell you if it's
was
bad.
told to shut up by Justin Robert Young. How are you doing?
That's how we do it.
Yay.
Hey man, factoid of the week. Onions that are chilled before chopping give off less of the chemical reaction that makes you tear up. That is a true thing.
So I have a question.
Yeah, man.
Did we say we're going to do a half hour power and then 25 minutes into that half hour power we just did the factoid?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's par for the course.
Just checking.
I'm going to keep plowing through. Let's do it.
Okay, plow.
Athlete banned from all-you-can-eat restaurant for eating too much.
What?
Yes, please. I love when this kind of thing happens. A German, it's all caps German, like that's something. German! Triathlete was banned from an all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant after eating nearly 100 dishes. Sushi is surprisingly more filling than you would think.
Wait, he ate 100 dishes or
He ate the plate. He literally took the dish and put it in his mouth and chomped it down.
So-
and they were like, we can't afford to keep
hate
losing these dishes.
I hate you so much. 100 pieces of sushi?
No, I think
would make me
100,
throw
yeah.
up
I
and
think
die.
this is 100 like dishes. So
Right.
yeah, so if you
That's
order
worse.
a spicy tuna crunch and it comes with 6 rolls, that's one dish. How do you do that? I mean, you can burn all the calories you want. This hurts. Yaroslav Bobrowski, which is probably not how you pronounce that, an Ironman competitor visited running sushi in Landshut, Bavaria last weekend for a never-ending meal. According to the local, I guess is the newspaper, Mr. Bobrowski went to the restaurant and paid his $26 for the buffet. $26 for a sushi buffet? Like, it's like $15 for
I would be
sushi.
terrified that I would get some sort of like Mongolian poop disease because that's a thing.
You got to be careful. You want to do Kroger sushi. Yeah, how long is it? Sushi in West Virginia, for one thing, that's a landlocked state. For another
that
thing, getting
always-
it from Kroger is a little.
I did get sushi at Kimono-kin.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what that means.
that was the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And I acquired sushi and ate it on a fairly regular basis with 2 of my friends, and nobody ever got sick. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's they got to pass some sort of regulation.
but that
right?
was the only place I ever trusted because it was actually ran by Japanese chefs.
Probably good. I want some Thai spices in sushi. We should do that again and some overcooked in the near term.
Fire vag.
Fire vag. True story. When I went to the checkout, I wanted to tip, but the waiter did not want to accept that, Mr. Bobrowski said to the local. The former bodybuilder sat down at a table and started eating and did not stop until he consumed nearly 100 servings of sushi. He eats for 5 people. That is not normal, the restaurant owner told the whatever this is. Mr. Bobrowski, who works as a software engineer by day, follows an extreme diet where he does not eat for 20 hours and then eats, quote, until I'm full.
1 meal a day. That's pretty popular right now.
It's the whole intermittent fasting thing is becoming a deal. The "until I'm full" part is apparently what drove the restaurant to ban the athlete. The owner told Mr. Bobrowski personally that he was no longer allowed to eat there because of his costly habits. "I'm banned from now on because I'm eating too much," said Mr. Bobrowski. "I was stunned," he added, saying he had been regular at the sushi restaurant. Well, the Big Bobrowski is
The Big
banned
Brabowski.
forever. I feel like that's a show title, The Big Bobrowski.
The Big Brabowski. I mean, you didn't even spell
I don't know, Bobrowski.
that. Sub's like, I got that.
He's like Captain America. I understood that reference.
Yay!
Oh, that's awesome. I want some sushi now, though. That's all I really got out of that story is it's sushi time.
That's the yeah. Intermittent fasting is fun because you've got that like cutoff, and unless it's Irish wristwatch days, because then I eat cheesy bunnies until you guys show up.
Oh my gosh, I died last night.
Steven may have had too much to drink last night.
Oh, I don't drink too much, you guys. That's not a thing I do. I had one beer and had pretty much hit the max that I normally have. I hadn't eaten all day minus, well, I mean, I'd eaten lunch. It was like chicken nuggets or something. I can't remember what I ate. And then I had pieces of dehydrated pineapple because Jacob's my hero. But that was it. And then went to the bar and they had a rotating pumpkin ale. Not like the pumpkin ale itself spins.
Like, was it served on like?
See, I thought the same thing. Rotating pumpkin ale. Does it spin? Because I want to. No, it was a particular pumpkin brew or brew pumpkin. I don't remember. But anyway, it had pumpkin in it, and it was 8.2%.
That's a high gravity alcohol right there, sir.
So I was like, yes, I shall have one. Before I got 2/3 of the way down the thing, and I was like, I'm drunk. I'm buzzed.
That was my first date with Jacob.
Was what you did?
2/3 of my way into my cup, and I'm like, I drank too much on a first date. High five me.
Self high five. Yeah, so I was. By the time I realized, it was a little late, but I was walking to the table because we hadn't even got our table yet. We were standing at the bar, and then they were like, "Your table's ready." And we're like, "Great!" I started walking. I was like, "Hello, legs." You've been standing still for a while, but now you have to move. And I'm like, wobble, wobble, wobble. And I was like, oh, no. Because I get really wide-eyed and weird when I get drunk. When I get buzzy.
Eric Webb, who gets very squinty-eyed when he gets drunk.
So if you see, like, if you've ever seen Big Hero 6, I'm basically Baymax when his batteries are low.
So like, I've decided you have to be Baymax for Halloween. We need to get you like a white tracksuit, and I want to put a paper plate on your face with like 2 dots and a line.
Well, can we blow it up like a balloon? Can I fill it like? You have to be big and puffy.
The scotch in it.
Make it a drunk Baymax.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like
lumpy.
The paper
lumpy
plate.
Tracksuit Baymax. I feel like Sam would die.
Cosplay nailed it. Small town news.
Man accused of rubbing produce on his butt in Northern Virginia grocery store. Normally, when I get excited about something, I rub my face on it. But I'm like an Ewok.
You skipped small town news. You went one story ahead. I was like, that's not what that says.
Middle school teacher on leave after allegedly putting girl in the game machine to stealing prizes.
There we go. That's the one.
That's what I said. A Massachusetts teacher was changed and put on
Charged.
A Massachusetts teacher was charged and put on leave from school after police say he was filmed using his toddler-aged daughter to steal prizes from a game machine in New Hampshire shopping mall. What a shame.
Was he like holding her by her feet? Like, get in there. What in there is valuable enough you sacrifice your toddler for it?
Can you imagine just dropping Sam and reach a little further?
Get me the decoder ring. No, not the bouncy ball, the decoder ring.
We need to see what Dick Tracy's going to tell us tonight.
This is a Tater and Dwayne thing.
Andrew Helinski, a 34-year-old middle school teacher in Andover, turned himself into police after witnesses filmed the man encouraging a child to go inside a Keymaster game machine to hand him prizes. Another child in the video could be hearing saying, "Yes, it worked." I don't know if that's how they said it, but that's how I said it. As the toddler inside handed the man prizes from inside the machine. I would be excited and slightly horrified, much like sex in general. The little girl was seen climbing out of the machine near the end of the video, which was reportedly filmed at the Rockingham Park Mall in Salem. Salem's such a fun word. Police identified Alinsky after receiving tips when the video was circulated online. You can't do shit in public now because
Yeah.
somebody's gonna film it.
You should not do that and then post it anywhere.
He was an engineering teacher, which is extra funny, and he got in trouble for endangering his child.
So engineers and scientists are different in that engineers find a solution to the problem. It doesn't really matter what that solution is.
Right.
It's like, well, I'll need that iPad, and I have a small enough child. Go get it for me.
I mean, it worked, right?
Yeah.
There were some excited people.
Sure.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. Don't stick your kids in situations where they could, I don't know, suffocate.
We actually have video of this.
A board.
Let's see. We got to find out. Let's skip ahead. Come on.
Oh, that's like a tall kid.
They're getting all kinds. They got a Switch out of there.
How are is there a baby in there or something?
They got a Nintendo Switch, man.
Who's crawling in?
There must be a kid in there. Come, where are
I
you?
shot the kid.
I know. They come out at the very end. How you put? Oh my gosh! It's a what? I love they pixelated it like to protect the identity of the toddler. Oh my gosh!
She like called out like it was a cat door. Look at her little face. What's up, bitches? I got Daddy a Switch.
They got a Nintendo Switch.
Sub's like, where is my tiniest friend?
Yeah, I will find one. I'm doing that tomorrow, Sub. You can't do that's insane. No.
The guy had to know somebody was filming him.
I would think so. I mean, maybe it was
Because
his friend.
They were 2 feet away, right?
Yeah.
Don't put that online, Bobby.
Maybe they was just recording it to watch it later for themselves. I saw this crazy guy at the mall today stealing stuff. Well, the closest thing I ever got to like illegally hacking a claw machine was at the bowling alley. We were there, and it was one of those claw machines where they put like these big stuffed animals in them. You know, like the foot tall, real puffy stuffed animals.
Like the bear that's in your playroom.
Not quite that big. But the guy who filled it had just come and filled it up. So it was like he just took the top off of it and just poured all the animals into the thing. So it created this mound. And all I had to do was like take the claw and just knock stuff, and it would roll down the mound and into the hole.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was the best. I got a chef from South Park that was like bigger than my head. It was awesome.
What did you do with him, though?
I kept him forever. I don't know what eventually happened to him, but it happened for a long time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I won something. I won a bouncy ball or something when I went to the go-kart place. People were like, "Did you win something?"
I've never. So I love going to arcades. I mean, that's what I did for my bachelorette party. Went to a freaking arcade, right? Like,
yeah,
I enjoy that, but I've never enjoyed the getting tickets to get the prizes part of it because I always feel either underwhelmed with my ability to collect tickets or annoyed with the amount of tickets I have versus what I actually get. Oh, you have 2,597 tickets. Here's a gumdrop.
Yeah, would you like a Chinese finger trap?
Yeah. F you and the horse you rode it on, sir.
Like, but it's so terrible because you remember it would cost like 5,000 tickets, and you could get a Walkman. You know, because this is how I'm dating myself. But like 5,000 or 10,000 tickets, and you can get a Walkman. It's like, you know how much money I'd have to spend to get 10,000 tickets?
I'm like, you could just buy a Walkman.
I could just buy a Walkman. You know, this is ridiculous. One of my fondest memories was going to the arcade when we first moved to West Virginia, and me and Lauren didn't have any friends. Lauren being my sister. Like, we were brand new, didn't know anybody. My mom took us to Aladdin's Castle
at the mall.
At the mall, and she gave us $20. We had,
which is like 100 now, kids.
Oh yeah, she got me like the coins, and the guy, like, it was special when you spent $20 for tokens. They gave you this little red drawstring bag full to hold your tokens.
Oh, the pouch?
Yeah, it was so cool. And it was like there was nobody there because it was like a school day or something weird. And there was like very few people there. And we
That's
just
because
went
it was
and
that mall.
yeah, it was also that mall. But yeah, we played. I mean, you get to a point where like, what else can I play? That room was like, I don't know, 1,000 square feet at best. It
Yeah,
wasn't like
it was pretty small.
it wasn't a huge arcade like you think of today. It wasn't Dave and Buster's by any means. It was
David
tiny.
Buster's. David Buster, where people go when they're sad and drunk and they hate their lives.
I would go to Dave and Buster's. They have that
And the
Star
last-
Wars pod. I want to
I
ride
think the
that.
only time I went, I think for maybe Jacob's birthday. Like I think the first I can't remember. We were very new to dating, and like none of the machines worked, and everybody was drunk, and it just had this like overwhelming feeling of despair.
Their food is not good.
And their food was awful. And I was just meeting all these people for the first time. So
Yeah.
I was like, I need to be entertaining, also watch my mouth, and maybe not be me.
It's so hard when you meet new people. You're like, don't be myself or be myself.
No, I when I meet people that I'm trying to impress, I'm mostly not myself. Myself is slightly not impressionist
Oh,
material for any other reason than the weird loud one.
anytime we meet somebody and you're not yourself, I always know that she either doesn't like this person or doesn't
Yes.
trust this person.
Yes.
Something is up here, and then I'll be like, Ashley's being weird. What's going on here? Oh, she doesn't like them. Okay, got it. I don't like them either. That's good. Now,
I like that. Like this is. I think a couple of Steven's friends have made this joke before, but we've got like this wolf pack in my family, and it's really hard to get in the wolf pack.
it's not that hard. It's not that hard. We're
many
making
people
it
have
sound
been
way
added?
worse than it is.
Jacob has been added
Yeah.
in 15 years.
Yeah. He what? That's the only one?
Yeah.
Oh, outside of me?
Well, yeah, you were part of the wolf pack.
There's not really a wolf.
There's a wolf pack. Read the story.
We love everybody. I don't know what you're talking
Wolves.
about. I mean,
How?
unless we don't. And we're like, what? Man accused of rubbing produce on his butt in Northern Virginia grocery store.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah, this is deja vu. So weird. A man was arrested at a Northern Virginia grocery store after he was seen pulling down his pants and rubbing produce items on his buttocks.
Ew. I'm going to start washing produce so well. Stephanie always yells at me, but ew, you asshole. Stop rooting apples.
Good Lord.
Sorry.
And hey, man. The suspect then put the items back on shelves. A loss prevention employee at the store told authorities. Loss prevention employee. Is that like we watch to make sure people don't steal things?
Yes.
We prevent loss.
Theft prevention.
Oh, this is the best. Officers responded to the giant grocery store and arrested Manassas resident Michael D. Wayne Johnson, 27, at the store. The store had to destroy several pallets of produce after the incident. Johnson is facing charges of indecent exposure and destruction of property. It wasn't immediately clear if he had an attorney. I'm betting no. A police spokesperson did not have enough information on what type of produce Johnson allegedly defiled, although she said a police report mentioned it was fruit. A Giant store manager said he was unable to speak about the incident. Giant is the name of the store, not an
It's all
adjective.
food.
It's hard to say that and not have it sound like, oh, the Giant store. No, the
Giant store manager.
the Giant store.
How much did he rub his butt on that they had to destroy several pallets? I'm so pissed off about this.
I don't know. I mean, it's really so gross. Yes, you have to destroy it because someone's butt was rubbed on it. But I mean, you can wash things. You're gonna peel most of that stuff. You know,
I don't peel apples. I don't peel pears. I don't peel plums. I peel bananas.
yeah.
I eat the cucumber's organic. I don't. If it's organic, I don't peel it.
No,
Like,
oh,
what
yeah.
do you peel?
I peel apples. I peel
Gross.
apples. I peel bananas. I peel cucumbers. I peel all the things. I'm all about that
You're
peel.
like, I see you, nutrition, and I'ma remove you.
Is there nutrition in? I mean, I know there's nutrition in the peel, but is there like more nutrition? Is this like the crust of the bread's the healthy part BS that your family
So
tells you?
for an apple, there's this layer like between the skin and the actual flesh of the fruit, very similar to avocado, that contains a lot of the different kinds of nutrients that your body really, really likes. But when you peel them, it's really hard not to peel that off. It
Yeah,
sticks to the peel. So you lose that. And like that's like if you don't scrape your avocado perfectly, you lose that dark gray. Basically, the brighter the fruit is, or the brighter the part of the fruit is, the better it is and the more your body likes it. That's not to say that the rest of the fruit isn't good for you or healthy. It's just
yeah.
that's where a lot of the happy stuff happens. So if you're peeling your cucumber and getting rid of all the happy chlorophyll, then you basically just have water and silica, which is good for you, but
But
you're
not as
missing on
good.
the happy green peel. Yeah.
It's like when you cook. It's like when you steam your kale.
So steaming is actually one of the best ways that you can cook the fruit and vegetable, because you don't lose as much as if you did literally anything else.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
so steaming. If you gotta cook something, you
Yes.
do it that way.
It's still a significant amount of loss, but it's
Right.
not like microwaving or
Oh
like
yeah.
frying it in oil or baking it, steaming it, because it's not as high for as long unless you
Speaking
steam the shit out of stuff.
Speaking of microwaving, did you see Amazon released a microwave today that has Alexa built into it that you can tell Alexa to microwave something for you? So you can put the thing in the microwave and you go, Alexa, microwave 20 seconds or whatever, and it'll microwave for it. Or you can say, like, Alexa, add 30 seconds to the microwave.
That's actually really cool, but I don't use a microwave for anything other than setting a timer.
I microwave that. Why do people the first time I ever saw anyone use a microwave as a timer for their stove or their oven was your people. Like I've never growing up, you know what was the timer for the oven? The oven, because it has a timer on it. But when I met you guys, you would put something in the oven and then you would put the timer on the microwave. And I'm like, what just happened? The stove or the oven has a timer and it beeps, and when you hit cancel, it also turns the oven off. So it's remarkably convenient in that when the thing is done cooking, it turns it off.
But see, that's the problem you run into, is if you're just wanting to, or if you're cooking. So the other day I had tofu, cauliflower, and F me, something else in the oven. And they were all put in at different times, and they were all left in for different times. So how does one set the oven for that shiz and
Well,
have it turn off on you and they go, oh, I guess I'll just re-enter the time again?
maybe so. Okay, maybe I owe you an apology because we just didn't cook multiple things. Like the thing went in the oven, the thing was done, it came out of the oven, and the timer was off. Versus like, oh, I had my chives and coconut cream butter butts in the oven and Boston butt
Asparagus!
and an asparagus, and I needed each one of them at 325, but for varying degrees and different times. Like, yeah, you guys cook different. We were just like, look at this Stouffer's I got out of the freezer. That's going in the oven.
And also, like,
Look at the
if you're
pizza.
cooking something, you may not necessarily think it's done when you open the oven. Like, you may look at it and go, nah, that needs another 5 minutes.
Oh, well, you can add a 5 minutes. It's not like the oven the oven turns off and the timer's done. It's like no more cooking for you.
You just said the oven turns off.
It does. It turns off, but doesn't mean you can't just hit the button and turn it back on.
It's so much more annoying than going timer 3, timer done.
I feel like both of these things are okay things to do, but yours is a little bit dumber.
Baking rolls and baked potatoes are at the same time for different times. Fight me. What?
I don't even know anymore. Please make McFly a French omelet as soon as you can. Also,
He makes his own French omelet because he has to like beat it for 20 minutes.
yeah, that's what she said. WTF.
I go through water really quickly.
I do too. I'm like a dolphin. I just swim, and it's good stuff. I'm not like a dolphin. I'm more like a wet dog.
What the fuck?
I don't even know. I don't know if that was a swear or not based on how it came out of your mouth. It was like,
That was not a swear subject. Farts can blow out of your mouth if you don't let them loose. I guess from your rectum.
is that a burp?
I'm like, isn't that just a burp?
I think the fart doesn't go from like your guts
Your butthole
back
to
up
your
to your
nostrils.
I mean, I've never held one in, so clearly I've never had one out of my mouth.
Oh my god, I hate that Jacob gave me this one. This should have been yours. Everyone toots. It's only natural, but not everyone lets the air puff freely from their bottom all the time, and that could be problematic.
Some
New
people
res-
do. Some cultures are all about the farts.
All about the. I can't.
It's
I
just
can't.
not
I
a
hate.
thing.
I hate this story so much. New research shows clenching your cheeks together won't get rid of. You're not funny. The stinky issue. Ha 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 ha. Going in for the obvious puns. In fact, it may only leave the air odor to leak out elsewhere. The airy odor. Please stop. Whoever wrote this, stop. Nutrition and dietetics professor from the University of Newcastle, New South Wales, Claire Collins, wrote an essay explaining a new phenomenon about gas. Is it new? Did our bodies just develop the mouth fart?
No, there's no such thing as a mouth fart. This guy is full of crap.
Holy. Now that was funny.
Like he really there's nothing about this makes sense. Like it defies all logic.
Yeah, I don't. Holding in a flatulent doesn't make it go away. The self-proclaimed fart expert explained. I hate everything about this article. Apparently, the gas can become reabsorbed into the bloodstream, which, with nowhere else to go, will end up escaping out of your mouth, like in a burst, or just giving you bad breath.
Maybe he means bad breath, but we all know, thanks to Robin Leach in Breath Assure, that bad breath it comes from your guts and not flossing.
When you eat steak
or hot dogs. Lord help me, today has been rough. I needed like 18 Tums today.
The professor said there is something you can do to blah, blah, blah. The professor said there's something you can do, though, to remedy the situation. Move to a more acceptable location and let it rip. The best thing for your digestive health is to just let it go. Because one way or the other, the smelly blast will be flowing right out of you. I mean, I don't...
It's rude, though, man. Like, to just fart on people.
Yeah, because you're making this malodorous bog in a room that other people are trapped in,
like in an elevator, you know?
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just don't fart on people.
I mean, don't be in massive amounts of pain.
Right. You'll hurt yourself if if you've got a big bad day. You could end up like your guts and just rolling all over the floor, and it's bad. Right?
I hate that Jacob gave me that.
I like to just let them rip. You know what I mean? When you're at home, the phenomenon is when your dad farted all the time, but you never heard your mom. What's with that? What's going on there? Ladies don't fart. It's true.
Ladies must be dainty to attract a man, so we can breed and serve our purpose in the world.
Oh gosh, there has been a lot of that going on here lately. Is it a new thing? So I watched I know this show should be over, but I can't. There's a show on Netflix. It's a BuzzFeed show, which already kind of made me want to throw up a little, but it ended up actually being kind of interesting. They're short, like 15-minute segments, and one of them was on men's rights activists.
Okay.
And it was pretty fascinating to see how much white men think that they are being marginalized and persecuted. It was kind of amazing. So there are some areas where I feel like I understood them to some degree, and but most cases I was like, you're really, I'm sorry, dude, you got nothing. It's basically it was the rise of the feminists, which I support equality and equal rights and all. So don't worry about that. But like the way they wrote it was like the rise of the feminists was causing the men to lose their place, or something like that. And I'm like, you mean their place just dominating anyone
Yeah,
that's
like
not
that's
them? Because no one cares about you. QQ cry more. But one of the things that was interesting to me that I did to some degree understand is the legal system. Like if a man is in an abusive relationship, that man has almost nowhere to go for
yeah,
recourse because it's generally like the women are the abused ones, so the men gets the shaft. But
right.
like if a man is being abused, he's got very few places to go
Yeah.
to be respected. Because they're like, what do you mean your wife hit you? Like, stop whining,
Yeah,
grow
exactly. Or
up.
same thing with a guy being raped.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, there's so there in
yeah.
those causes, like I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad somebody's kind of working towards that because we lose all the chauvinistic, misogynistic, jacked up stuff you're doing. Because like I feel like because there's also that problem like when there's a divorce and there's kids involved, like the mom is heavily word
Favored.
favored
Sure, yeah.
to get the kids when the dad might be the one that would be the more appropriate person to take them. But it's
Yeah.
real hard because it's like then even in those situations, like the dad's still paying support to somebody. Like it's like these 1950s 60s archetypes of how things went. It's still in place when it's deviates a lot more now. It was kind
Right.
of fascinating anyway, but worth a
So
watch.
yeah, do you not think that guys should do like child support till the kids get 18 if the woman ends up getting the kids
Oh
or
no, if she gets the kids, then sure. I mean that I think what? Why are you looking at me
well,
like
it
you're
was just the way you said it. I was like, wait, what?
No, 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 no. No, I'm sorry if I didn't clearly explain it. No, I think they totally should, because they need to support their kids, right?
Right, because they were half the reason they exist. Yeah.
Yes, but I feel like if the problem, like let's say the wife is abusing the husband, the wife has been abusing the kids, or
Right.
is
Yeah.
not good for the kids' situation, and the kids go with the husband, like I don't know who pays who in those situations.
Right. Well, so I think a lot of the issues with the guy saying that feminism is rooting out the place for man in society, and then these guys that pop up on every forum for the Me Too and saying, well, what about men that are raped or what about men that are abused? So it
It's
drives
so
me nuts because
iffy.
it's a detraction thing, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
so
like don't let them let women who have dealt with this for a million years have their moment and just help. Let's work through that,
right.
and
And
maybe
it's
come
not
back.
yeah, I guess it's kind of like the Black Lives Matter movements when people pop up and say white lives matter.
Yeah, you kind of like,
Like it's
eh.
just it's just because someone is saying that someone's life matters doesn't mean you're detracting from, oh, well, all lives matter. Yes, but you as a white person have not been treated in such a manner that you feel you need to wear a shirt that says, please God, don't shoot me. I am unharmed, you
Right.
know?
The one illustration I saw that was really really good was this person was like, I have a hole in my roof, and then the other person's like, yes, I see that you have a hole in your roof, but this guy's house is literally on fire right now. Like,
Right.
you have
That's
a hole in your
beautiful. That's
roof.
beautiful.
This person's house is on. We want to fix your hole in your roof, but this guy's house is on fire. And it was
Yeah.
like this really great illustration of like, we need to fix this,
Yeah.
and then, but we can come fix this. But these people are getting shot in the street for a variety of reasons that don't seem justified.
Right.
You're not getting shot in the street. Let's work this out together.
And I think that's what really bothers me is a lot of the people that come up with the, well, what if a guy got raped or what if this or what if that? I was just like, you're like, what is your objective in this? Are you
Right,
are you
yeah.
actually trying to make it more acceptable for a guy to come forward and say, look, please don't ridicule me like I was mentally and physically scarred from this. If so, what are you doing toward that end?
Yeah, yeah. How are
Besides
you
bitching
helping?
in a
Yeah.
feminist
Yeah,
like
how are
Twitter
you?
thread.
Why not go to a place where they're already having this discussion and keep
Yeah.
working it
Right, but
there?
don't detract from the message that someone is trying to create. Which, so I think the when I talk to guys on occasion, I make the comment of women's bodies are literally legislated by old white men in Congress.
That is not wrong. That is
and
true.
depending on certain events, it could get worse and go a little backwards and be more heavily legislated. So, for a guy to get Viagra or condom, easy peasy. For a woman to get birth control, same thing with rape cases. Like, there's one currently ongoing, and I'm sure the questions are going to be, what were you wearing? How much were you drinking? How many sexual partners had you had up until then? How many people were you dating?
Yeah.
What did you say? At any point did you lead them on? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
you could be having sex and then decide that, you know what? This isn't necessarily what I go where I want to go from now. It sucks for both parties, but just because I started to have a sexual relationship with you does not mean that, B, you're always welcome to have sex with me, or C, that we have to finish the coitus. Yeah. So it gets, and even like us as white people, I think I was having a conversation with Jacob. We were talking about mascot titles, like the Redskins and the
Oh yeah, that's been since I was a kid an issue. Yeah.
But us as white people should never say, "Oh, that shouldn't be offensive," because
we don't own it.
Right, like if I was like full blood Cherokee and I was offended by that, then it is offensive. If it's offensive to the minority of people that are being squished and put onto reservations or whatever, right? Then it's offensive. Like, it's not for us to tell other people how they feel, and I think we miss that a lot.
That is 100% true. You don't get to tell people how they feel,
right?
But you also, that's a tough one. I was about to say something, but I don't know that it makes sense. And if it came out of my mouth, I would probably not be sure. I'd probably spend the next 15 minutes backpedaling it. No, because I do this all the time. So the phrase is, you don't own other people's feelings. Right. Like, if you say something, or you tell someone, I don't want to hang out with you today.
Right.
You don't have to own how that made them feel. Right. Like, it's,
sure.
but that's the reason I was hesitating, is because that's a completely different situation.
Right.
That's not, I'm calling you racial slurs. That's your problem. Like, I'm not trying to go there. That's that's where it was going to go. And I'm like, no, that's not really what I
that's more of a interpersonal
scale versus blankets.
I may be offending an entire
statements of
people.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, where we get heavy right at the very end.
All over. Welcome to our 30 minutes.
Good gravy. What did we do? Yeah, hour-long
show. Was right.
He was right. We can't do half hours apart. I love everybody. This show is great. Everything about it is awesome. And
thank you for the bits and the subs. You guys are so wonderful. It makes us so freaking happy.
You guys are amazing. We will be back on Monday with Dungeons and Dorks. So that'll be fun. I think Steph's got a thing that night, so I might be a little late starting.
That's cool. I'll start DMing it.
Oh gosh. You can DM a game if you want. I'd love to play a character one of these days.
We should do a one-shot where Ashley DMs and tries her best to kill everybody.
That would be totally fine.
Subject is immediately screaming.
He's like, no. We can't do that. So Dungeons and Dorks, it's a fantastic little romp through a fantasy land that I'm now making up on my own. Lord help me. He's trying to herd these cats. But I think it went pretty well. And I'm excited where the story's going. So it should be a lot of fun. So that's everything we do. Pretty much starts at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in on Monday for that at twitch.tv/2dorkstv. And next week on Creator Crush, we're having Askren, who is a DM himself. So we'll be picking some brains on that. That'll be a lot of fun. Doing a lot of cool stuff here at Two Dorks. And Horseshoes and Hand Grenades is a show that we just use to promote all our other things, right? Hey, man, we don't have any mail, but we want some, so send it to hnhshow@gmail.com. Any thoughts, comments, opinions, whatever we talked about. Give us a review on your favorite podcasting service. 5 stars would be great, because that would make us feel good. We could sleep at night.
Whether you agree with it or not, just give us 5.
Just give us the 5. Follow us on Twitter at 2dorkstv. I'm Steve H&H on Twitter. Smash is Fate Kills, PHATE Kills. If you would like to tip us, you can do the old Twitch Prime sub like the 2-Tap King did, because that helps.
Yeah,
or you can just
free for you and great for us.
Yeah, spend Jeff Bezos' money. And you can also tip us at 2dorks.net/tip. which is a great place to go to give us money. And if all that stuff. We're going to leave you guys with these words of wisdom from Padma Lakshmi. Is that a thing? Padma Lakshmi?
She's a chef.
Oh, cool. It doesn't matter how precisely the onion is cut as long as the person chewing it is happy. Well done, Padma.
I thought that was pretty good, right?
That is pretty good. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. We love you, and we will see you next time if I can find my mouse. There it is on this wonderful show. Bye. So I wanted to talk about Tupperware and ended up talking about male rights activists.
Oh, Tupperware and them not fitting.
I forgot. I was going to rant about Tupperware because I was telling Stephanie something. I was like, you know what?